Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero, and it has come out in a report that Leslie Headland's The Acolyte canceled after abysmal finale ratings. Now again, this is Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant, Leslie Headland, just so everyone knows. You know, she obviously knew what everything that was going on behind the scenes with that individual, but it's crazy to me how they just give anyone a Star Wars show nowadays. The same person that said when asked what's their favorite Star Wars is, I love all of the Star Wars. It's like, you don't know the first thing about Star Wars, considering that your show was absolutely trash, and everyone knew it. Every real Star Wars fan knew your show was going to be trash, and then you tried to use member berries with Darth Plagueis. Spoiler alert, I don't think anybody actually watched this show that was a real Star Wars fan, but yeah, they tried to put in Darth Plagueis even though he, on the timeline, wasn't even born yet, which is absolutely crazy to me how, again, they would just give anybody a Star Wars show just because. And she inserted her wife into the show, so that's another thing for another time. But this comes to us, of course, from That Park Place. Here it says, report, Leslie Headland's The Acolyte canceled after abysmal finale ratings. A new report details that Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company canceled Leslie Headland's The Acolyte series in the wake of Nielsen reporting the season finale had abysmal viewership numbers. Yes, because Nielsen is the thing that shows the viewer numbers now for stream shows. They usually do it for cable TV, but now they also have lists for streaming shows, and it would appear that it got abysmal ratings. Deadline's Nelly Andreeva reports, quote, the story of The Acolyte will not continue with Lucasfilm opting not to proceed with a second season of the Star Wars offshoot starring Amandla Stenberg, sources tell Deadline. I believe that's this individual here. So, this report comes in the wake of Nielsen releasing its data for the week The Acolyte's series finale aired. The show only managed to garner 335 million minutes watched. That was less than the 2-episode premiere, which brought in 488 million minutes watched, because obviously the show is trash. It's not made by someone who actually cares about Star Wars, like Jon Favreau did, but again, Jon Favreau also didn't fight for Gina Carano's job. Hashtag cancel Mark Hamill for his political opinions, but they didn't do that. We'll get into a video later that I'll post as well. So you can see The Boys, then Cobra Kai, which I need to watch still, Love Island, Vikings Valhalla, The Bear, Deletion, Los Angeles, Evil, Receiver, Bridgerton, and then The Acolyte down here with only 8 episodes at an abysmal 335 million minutes watched compared to something like The Boys or even Cobra Kai, considering that Cobra Kai is absolutely great and continues the story of the Karate Kid, you know, bringing in the old characters while fleshing out new characters and not degrading or shunning the old characters or turning them into something that they're not in their character. I highly recommend Cobra Kai. And you can even watch it without even watching the Karate Kid movies, but of course they give further context if you watch them. They do enough flashback scenes to give you enough context for you to understand the storyline. Nielsen's viewership numbers reflect a significant decline in reviews per episode of the series on IMDb. The first episode received 26,000 reviews, while the finale only received 11,000, because it seems like nobody cared to actually do a review on the finale. More people cared to do a review on the, first episode, the series premiere. Not only did the show receive poor viewership, but those who did watch did not like. The show had a 4.1 out of 10 with a plurality, 45.8% of all reviews being a 1 out of 10. So you can see the 4.1s, only 10% gave it a 10, 45.8% gave it a 1. This report also confirms a rumor from WDW Pro, who indicated that Lucasfilm would not be moving forward with the show at the end of July. He said at the time, quote, said source tells me that Leslie Headland does not, as of right now, have a contract for a season 2 of The Acolyte. Said source tells me that following the finale of season 1 and the results that may have been coming in weeks ahead, this decision may have been coming in weeks ahead of the finale. There are no current plans to develop a season 2. Good. This is what should have happened to the Halo show after the abysmal Halo series season 1. Absolute garbage. Pro added, quote, that could change. Kathleen Kennedy can always make that decision as long as she has a contract, which we believe she has a contract up until October of this year. and it may be continued past that. But that's when the current contact, this says contract, it's supposed to be contract, would end. But Kathleen Kennedy could go ahead and approve that, but as of right now, we are told there are no plans, no movements, there is nothing in development for a season 2 of The Acolyte. He concluded, quote, "My source tells me that everything in season 1 indicates that they did plan on doing a season 2, especially with the way the show ends, but as of right now, that continuation of the story seems to be on indefinite hold, indefinite pause." The show performed extremely poorly compared to the previous Star Wars Disney Plus series, as noted by ex-user Now It's Known. The show's finale performed worse than every single live-action Star Wars show released on Disney Plus before it, including Ahsoka, Andor, Obi-Wan Kenobi, The Book of Boba Fett, and The Mandalorian. The only one worth watching was Mandalorian, and only the first 2 seasons. Ahsoka's finale back in October 2023 saw its viewership hit 575 million minutes watched. The Acolyte's finale viewership is 41% less than Ahsoka's. Similarly, Andor's finale brought in 675 million minutes watched. The Acolyte's viewership is over 50% less than Andor's, which Andor did get a season 2 from D23. It gets even worse when you compare it to Obi-Wan Kenobi and The Book of Boba Fett. Obi-Wan Kenobi had 860 million minutes watched for the week of its finale, because Obi-Wan Kenobi is actually a well-known character that people liked, which they completely destroyed in the series, or the limited series. The Acolyte's viewership is over 60% less than Obi-Wan Kenobi. Similarly, The Book of Boba Fett's viewership had 885 million minutes watched. The Acolyte was over 62% less than The Book of Boba Fett. The Mandalorian Season 3 had 1.012 billion minutes watched. Acolyte performed 66% worse than that. It's likely that showrunner Leslie Headland, Harvey Weinstein's former personal assistant Leslie Headland, knew the show had atrocious viewership, as she had resorted to begging viewers to launch social media campaigns in an attempt to convince Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company to greenlight a second season. She was asked by Collider's Maggie Lovett, quote, "Shifting gears, one of the most popular questions that I got to ask from Twitter was, what do fans need to ensure that we get a second season?" Headland responded, quote, "Truly any online support and love you can send the show. It's a little tricky because of the way that the internet works, because really it's majority of people don't care about Star Wars at all. But if you enjoyed the show and you want to see more of the story, any support that you can give the show on social media platforms would be super helpful." She continued, quote, "Sending love to the cast too. You've seen what Hayden Christensen went through." Yeah, it was all from, the studios in Hollywood. The fans love Hayden Christensen. That's the difference between Hayden Christensen and this person here, these people on your show. People actually like Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen actually respects his fans, or respects the fans of Star Wars, while these people do not. He's getting the love now, but give the love now if you enjoyed the performance. He's been getting the love forever. Even if you were kind of like whatever on the show, if you enjoyed the performances, get on their social media, let them know that you love them, or that you support them, that the performances were great. None of it was good. From there, Headland stated, quote, "Encourage your friends to watch the show. A lot of my work has been word of mouth. We were talking about the review bombing. It's not review bombing, it's people that watched it that think it sucks. So just telling people that don't pay attention to the IMDb score. So don't listen to people who actually watched the show. Congratulations." She then stated, quote, "If you enjoyed it, tell people. It kind of seems that it's sort of basic, but I think what's interesting is that nowadays, if you like a show, you're very rarely going to go online to be like, I like that show." Lovett then stated, "You just watch it and move on," because it wasn't good. Headland reiterated, quote, "You watch it, you move on. Maybe you mention it to somebody over dinner and be like, oh, I just binged this show. It was fun. Lee Jung-jae is an awesome actor. It usually comes up that way, as opposed to going online saying I love this show. So if you did love the show, then pivot and be appreciative." No. "By the way, I know this has already happened, even though I'm not online," she added. "People have been sending me fun tweets and beautiful artwork and all the ship comments, and I'm absolutely loving it." Because that's apparently what Star Wars is about, shipping people. "I know it's out there, but if you aren't doing it, I would encourage you to do it and support the show, so thank you." Now that the Acolyte has been scrapped, the next big question is if Lucasfilm will pull a Willow and impair the charges and yank the entire series off Disney+. That would be hilarious if they did that, because that would make all the clowns who thought the show was good cry, cope, and seethe and mauled, because the show just had nothing to do with Star Wars. It made the Jedi look like they were evil, and the Rule of Two just basically got completely shat on. So there's that. good to see the show go down in flames. I don't really care about it at all. It's made by a person who absolutely has no love for Star Wars whatsoever, and glad to see it gone. Thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, and returning viewers. If you do like this type of content, hit the like button, subscribe for more, comment below how you feel about all this, ring the bell for notifications, set the bell to all, that way you'll get a notification anytime I post a new video or I go live on this channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.